Thank you everyone. Today I am going to discuss about Archimedes Principle. Before going through the Archimedes Principle, first you have to know what is fluid. What is fluid? Fluid are those substances those can flow. That means the substance those can flow. There are three types of substance: solid, liquid and gas. Liquid and gas can flow. Liquid and gas, these two substances can flow. That is why these two are known as fluid. Archimedes principle is applicable for the fluid, that means for the liquid and gas, when they are in rest. That means for the rest fluid. If this fluid are in flowing condition, Archimedes principle is not applicable on that flowing liquid. Now, what is the Archimedes principle? Archimedes principle states that when a solid object is immersed into the fluid, partly or fully, then it displaces the fluid by its volume of immersed part, and this solid loses a part of its weight apparently. This apparent loss of weight of the immersed object is equal to the weight of the displaced fluid. Here, say take a fluid. I take here a liquid. If you immersed a object into that liquid, I immerse here partly. This part of the liquid is immersed, this part of the solid is immersed into the liquid, and this white portion remains in air. So this immersed part of the object displays the same volume of the liquid. That means if the volume of this immersed part is say V, then the V volume of liquid also displaced. If the object is fully immersed like that, then also the displaced volume of the displaced liquid will be the same as the volume of the whole object. But here the volume of the displaced liquid is equal to the volume of the immersed part only. But here the volume of the displaced liquid is the volume of the whole object, because whole object is immersed. Now, this is applicable only for rest liquid or rest fluid. Now, so Archimedes principle is applicable for number 1 for rest fluid, number 2 the solid does not dissolve in that fluid, number 3 solid does not reacts with that fluid. Must be the fluid will be at rest. Solid, that means immersed solid does not dissolve in that fluid. Solid does not react with the fluid. If these conditions are satisfied, then the Archimedes principle is applicable there. Now, say next part of that Archimedes principle. Here when an object is immersed, then it loses a part of its weight. Say when this object was in air, say this is object, when it is in air, then its weight is say W. When this object is immersed partly in the any fluid, then say its weight becomes W1. This W1 must be less than W, that means the weight in air. That means when the object is immersed into a solid, into a liquid, then it loses a part of its weight. This is the second part of the Archimedes principle. Now, the third part. It loses its weight by a certain part, that means partly, and this loss of weight is apparently. When it taken out from the liquid or the fluid, then the weight becomes as before. Now, this weight loss, third part, apparent loss of weight, apparent loss of weight is equal to weight of displaced liquid. Say this is a container. I take some liquid. The object is immersed partly. Then it loses some weight of its own. This loss of energy, loss of weight, will be the weight of displaced liquid. It displaces some amount of liquid. Say this is the volume of the displaced liquid. This is, so this displaced liquid have its weight. That weight, that means weight of the displaced liquid, is the same as the weight loss of the immersed object. This is the Archimedes principle. Now, for that, now the question is why the object loses its weight apparently? Because of when the object is dipped partly or fully into the liquid, an upward force is applied on it. Yeah, upward force is applied on it. This upward force is known as buoyancy. Due to that buoyancy, the object loses a part of its weight apparently. At the next video, I discuss about buoyancy. Thank you.